Drones, drones, drones. We drone on. What is going on?
Tonight in the skies above New Jersey, trying to get to the bottom of a mysterious wave of SUV-sized drone sightings that so far have proved impossible to identify or to stop.
The minute you get eyes on them, they go dark.
It's not an airplane.
Reports of mysterious drones and lights in the sky are growing. From over the warships of the West Coast to nuclear sites across the West to Langley, Virginia, and most recently to Picatinny Arsenal in New Jersey. The Pentagon says there is no evidence the drones are coming from a foreign adversary, but lawmakers on Capitol Hill are demanding answers from the FBI.
I don't have an answer of who's responsible for that, of one or more people that are responsible for those drone flights.
Those who have sent drones up to give chase, like local sheriff's departments, say they've never been able to see where they come from or where they land. Mine Hill Mayor Sam Morris chased this one down in his car and thinks the military should consider shooting them down. He says 11 drones have flown over a military site in New Jersey recently.
Those drones should have been blown out of the sky. Why are we putting up with this?
And as more people start to look up at the night sky, the FBI is asking anyone with credible video to send them in for analysis.
It's 2024. Are you telling me in this day and age somebody can fly drones of this size, the size of a car if not bigger, and we have no idea who's doing it?
For now, yet another growing mystery in the sky.
We're told that there's nothing nefarious about it. Define nefarious for me. We're told that it is not from a foreign adversary. We are told that the drones are not a threat. So I've been a pilot my entire life. I started flying when I was 15 years old, took my first flying lesson, and I've been flying ever since. I operate within the air traffic control environment. I'm here to tell you folks that there is not an airplane that takes off or lands, especially in busy airspace, that is not observed or observable on radar.
In September of 2023, the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, changed the rules so that drones could fly at night. And that may be one of the reasons why now people are seeing more drones than they did before, especially from dawn to dusk. And so that is the reality. But I want to assure the American public that we are on it. We are working in close coordination with state and local authorities. And it is critical, as we all have said for a number of years, that we need from Congress additional authorities to address the drone situation. Our authorities currently are limited, and they are set to expire. We need them extended and expanded.
You got several over here now that are flying around. 2 there are flying, one's hovering.
We know of no foreign involvement with respect to the sightings in the Northeast, and we are vigilant in investigating this matter, the Department of Homeland Security, with the Federal Bureau of Investigation in the lead.
In most cases, the identifying characteristics of the plane are transmitted along with the radar blip. I am here to tell you that there is a 0% chance of probability, in my opinion, that our own government does not know where these drones have taken off, where they have conducted the mission, and where they landed. And certainly by this point in time, they know who the drones belong to. So for the last 65 years, I have carefully watched and studied our government and current events. And what I have found is that when there is a huge, big mystery that we cannot unravel, you really need to look no further than our own government. So let me ask you this. Drones have dominated the national news cycle now for a good 3 or 4 days. It seems like what everyone is talking about and focused on. And I sit and wonder why. And while we're talking about drones, what else are we not talking about? And there is your answer, folks. We are not talking about Butler, Pennsylvania on July the 13th. We are not talking about West Palm Beach, Florida a month later in August. We are not talking about Hunter Biden's inexcusable, unpardonable pardon. We are not talking about the 1,500 people that Joe Biden granted clemency to, including 2 judges who enriched themselves by closing young offender detention centers, pushing them into a privately owned subcontractor detention center where the judges just happened to end up getting kickbacks and were serving a very deserved prison sentence for those indiscretions. But we're not talking about any of that. Instead, we are talking about drones. And therein solves the riddle, I believe. I think our own federal government or subcontractors for our government are flying the drones. Our government knows who they are. That's the only way they would know that there is nothing nefarious, that it's not from a foreign adversary, and that they're not a threat. But we're not shooting them down. We're not scrambling F-15s to go observe and film and document. We are not scouring the air route traffic control center's radars to see where they've launched and where they've returned to. We're not doing any of that. What we are doing is shifting your eye and the attention of the American people away from the very things that we should be talking about. Butler, West Palm Beach, Hunter Biden's unpardonable pardon, clemency for 1,500 people who were convicted by a jury of their peers or by a judge, in which case, if they waived their right to a jury trial. That's what we should be talking about. And that's why we have drones. And that's the truth. I'm John Gordon. Like and subscribe if you will.